Hello, welcome to video 3, the third in the series of the printmaking videos that I am making. Where we left off last time is I had the students create these little folder organizers for their printmaking project. They have their little name on the tab. In here they have pieces of foam, their paper. They can also put all their little learning guides in there from the videos 1 and 2. And there's also a rubric that each student will have, and that's going to show them exactly what they need to do to get the grade, the highest grade possible, and what happens, if they have it incomplete, they'll get a low grade. So it's all spelled out for them. So here we go. Let's see. All right, so in my folder, last video, my helper made a little tree picture. So this is what we're going on today. And I'll show an example of, let's see, I'm going to show you my tree print that I did the other day, and I've used this in video 1 and 2, I believe. And this is the paper print, and this is the foam printing plate, which is what we're going to create now. All right, so sticking with that tree theme, my helper has sketched out a little tree. So I'm just going to move this over. I'm going to take out the foam like so. Take out our sketch so she knows what she's working with. Now, as I said before in video 2, the foam is very fragile, and if you scratch or ring across it or your nails, you will get little lines that you might not want in your print, so keep that in mind. Also, a lot of students want to incorporate their names or numbers or dates, anything like that, and keep in mind that anything that you actually write out will print backwards. So I try to encourage my students not to use any type of words or numbers because it's just going to be frustrating for them. If they do insist on using it, I let them go ahead because it's a great opportunity for learning. I can't control all the situations out there, and some students just insist that they know more than anybody else. So it's a great opportunity for them to discover that they could always learn a little bit more than they think they need to. All right, so I have my assistant. She's going to draw the tree on the phone. Do you want me to draw it? Okay, I guess my assistant is not going to draw it. I will draw. So what I'll do is I'll just sketch out my tree form. I'm just using this little pen. Now this will give me very fine lines, but sometimes the ink or the paint that you use is thin and it will fill in the lines. This is not the best looking tree, I know, but this will at least give you the idea of what's going on. I have some grass. So if I run my hands over, I can feel some lines that are lightly in there, but I want to make more of an impression. So I'm going to turn my pen around, and I have this nice tip, and I'm actually going to apply pressure, and I'm going to really dig in to that foam. You want to make sure that you're not digging so heavily in there where it's breaking the foam, because sometimes, kids like to show off. We don't need any strongmen contests going on. At least not today. We can always have another day for that. I have my little squirrel hole here. And then I'll just add to that. I have my grasses at the bottom. Just like that. Now sometimes it is difficult to see when you've used the back of the pen, so I just like to run my fingers over just to feel that I have touched all the areas that I want to print. You can go over it, make things a little darker here. I'll put some birds in the background, huh? There we go. Now some nice little ways to shade a tree. For example, I could do some cross hatching. This will give me some texture and some shading. Sometimes just lines will give a nice little texture here. Let me thicken this up here. And the best part about this is you don't know exactly what you're going to get until you pull the print, which is always exciting. Add some more vines. There we go. So I think I have a decent printing plate to start with. So I have this. I will now be using my ink and my brayer. Again, I went over this in video 2. The brayer is just the roller that applies the ink or the paint to the printing plate. Today I'm using Mars Black acrylic paint. I'm just going to give a little dab on my tray. You could use any type of flat surface. You can recycle things such as this meat tray, or you can use cafeteria trays if you can snag them from your cafeteria. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna hold the roller, the brayer, and you're just gonna roll it back and forth. Yep. You just wanna make sure the whole roller is getting covered. How's that look? Looks pretty good. My assistant gives me a thumbs up. Okay. So now you're just going to roll over your entire print. You can hold down one side. You're going to roll all over it. I'm going to press lightly. Yep, you can roll back and forth this way. Yep, if you feel that your brayer is getting out of ink, then you can roll it into the ink again. Yep. Yep, and you want to try to get all your edges. Sometimes you have a lot of neat little intricacies in your picture that you want to get. Yep. Yeah. And even though you have the image, you have the tree that looks white, right? That's fine. We'll have to clean up. That's part of the cleanup. Yeah. You have this nice dark background. It's called plate tone. And so that always shows up on the paper, which is really nice. Okay. So I'm just taking... You can just leave it there. Yep. No, you put the foam on first. Here. Just leave the foam there. It's all right. Yep. And here we're just going to sit our paper right on top of it. And now I'm giving you the Baron. The Baron is flat on one side with the handle on the other. Right? So now you're just going to rub your paper all over that plate. You want to make sure the paper gets terrific contact with that plate. Go all the way to the edges. Just try not to get too messy. But that's okay. All set. Here, do it again here. Just go back and forth. Here. All right, okay. Excellent. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to slowly peel your paper away from the printing plate. And you will see what kind of print you have. Go ahead. Whoops. Ooh, okay, turn that over so we can see. And there we go. We have a very nice, successful print. Now, if you want it darker, you could just use more ink. You can use different types of ink if you like. You can also print on a colored background. Perhaps some construction paper. That always makes a really great look. Black ink against yellow or black ink against orange. My students love to switch it up a bit. It's really fun. And again, this is a really great way to pull multiple prints off of one image. So you just have to draw it once, print a bunch. Now for cleanup, we just have to make sure our table surfaces are cleaned. So I have my students do that. We want to look over the Baron. You know, we have a little ink maybe on the bottom surface here and on the wood handle. I want to make sure those are clean so they're ready to use for the next student. And same with our brayer. If you look closely, you can see when there's a lot of ink on the roll, it sort of creates a buildup, and that's going to mess the next student up in their printmaking process if they don't start with a clean brayer. So we want to make sure we clean all these tools just so we're courteous. And again, the students have a rubric in their project folder. So I'll go over the rubric with the students. And I have tried to have them grade themselves so they know exactly where they fall. And then if they think they're falling higher than what I think, we have a discussion as to why I think they need to be, you know, in a different spot. And we go from there. So thank you. That is video 3 of printmaking. And that's it shows you exactly what you need to do. And if there's a spot that you need to rewind and replay, you can definitely do that. And I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.